Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great day. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I'm repurposing some HSTs that a friend gave to me. I actually found these on the free table at a quilt group I belong to, and somebody had left these behind. I think they're pretty beautiful. They're pretty bright though, and there's 12 of them. They measure just over 8 inches untrimmed. So I was thinking, what could I do with just 12 of them? I really want to make a donation baby blanket, so I came out with a few ideas. I thought, well, what happened if I tone this down a bit by adding another fabric, and then I can create more HSTs and then a larger layout. So that's what I have decided to do. I will show you a thumbnail of some different color selections I was playing with. I was thinking of this and about a dozen others. And then I finally decided on using kind of a peachy color just to kind of work with this, because I don't know how well you can see this, but it does have a lot of orange in it. So the fabric that I have is one, again, that someone gave to me. I have a very limited amount, but it's got kind of an ombre look to it. It appears to be like a batik or a very tight cotton that's been ice dyed. So what I decided to do was to lay it down on the opposite edge. So what I mean by that is I laid it corner to corner. I drew a center line. I stitched 1/4 of an inch from each side. And once I trim these back, this is more what the block will look like. So compared to this, it is a lot more refreshing to the eyes, let's say. So let me finish this. I'm just going to trim these down and then I'll take you over to my design wall. So this was my original idea. The 4 that are the original ones sitting on the bottom were not part of the plan. I had calculated having more of the lighter peachy orange color to break them into more HSTs, but I obviously didn't have enough fabric, and I would also be 1 block short for the desired pattern I was going to go for. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to not use those the way they are, so those will come out. I do have another layout idea for this, and then I'm going to break these by trimming them down some more and making some smaller HSTs to come up with an interesting border. So let me just play around. I'll show you how I'm going to move this part, and then we'll get back to the border idea. This is the layout I think I'm going to go with. Each block will measure around 7 inches. I like to include about 1 inch every time you create another HST or break an HST in half. So these will square up to about 7.5, and then they'll end up at 7 once they're joined together. And then, as I mentioned, I'm going to take the other original blocks and I'm going to make smaller HSTs, and I think I'll put 2 here, 2 there, 2 on each side, basically going around, and then I should have enough of just a square to put them square on square in the corner. My objective is to make something that's around 35 to 36 inches square. This will be a donated baby blanket. So let me get cracking and I'll join you back here. So my thinking is I have 4 of these, and again, they're over 8 inches untrimmed. And I thought what I would do is cut them in half. And I actually have these bits that are left over from when I was cutting the fabric for the other. So I have enough of this here. I've got 4 of these. These measure, they're just 4 inches by 8 inches. So what I'll do is I'll cut these in half. I'll make these in half themselves. So let's make it 4 inches like that. I'll slice it down here and then across this way. So I'll have 1 HST here, 1 here, and then 2 of the plain fabric like this. And then based on how that looks, I may add the peachy color to do exactly what I did for the larger squares. So let me get these trimmed up and we'll take a look at the design wall again. Similar to the bigger blocks, I did get these trimmed down to, they're around 4 inches. And what I'll do, so I've ended up with a stack of these, and then I've also got a stack of just the squares without them being half square triangles. So what I could do is I could essentially make these just into half square triangles, right sides together, and then like that. But I thought, well, to be consistent with the others and because I have more of them, I'll do the same idea where I'll lay this down from corner to corner. I'll draw a line on the opposite direction from where these two join, and then I'll stitch a 1/4 inch on each side, and that'll give me 2 HSTs. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, and then I'll be right back. So I think in the end, this is the layout I'm going to go with. I'll show you once I have it all revealed. I'm just trying to show you how you can take something that is really busy and break it apart, add some other fabric, and then you have a totally different look. By moving those same blocks around, you can certainly come up with something that's custom to you. So stay tuned and I'll show you my final reveal. In case you're wanting to make one that is similar to what I'm doing, these center blocks, there's 16 of them, and I was able to trim them to 3.5 inches. I've labeled them from 1 through 16, so I'll go ahead and make this one big block. Okay, so the center block is 24.5 inches unfinished. These are 6 inch or 6.5 inch unfinished economy blocks. If you'd like the template for how to make those, just shoot me an email at sewwithdebee@gmail.com and I'd be happy to send it to you. So next I'm going to frame up these corner blocks and then add some fabric to join them together, and then this will be complete. Here it is, all done. I appreciate you sticking around with me today while I played around with a bunch of different layout ideas. I added the blue border because I had enough fabric and it actually fits in with, there's a bit of blue in the fabric anyway, and it just kind of makes it pop when you see it in real life. Unfortunately, with some of this photography, you don't see how dramatic it is. This will finish around 35 inches. If you want a pattern for this, let me know and I can certainly send you an email with all the specifications. It will eventually be on my website as a free pattern as well. And until next time, sew safely and sew with Debee. Have a great day and bye for now.